All right, look guys, I'm 40 years old and my natural test levels are over 750 nanograms per deciliter. And I'm gonna show you the 5 things that I do to keep them balls large and in charge. But listen dudes, you need to hear me out first because I have a lot to say when it comes to this stuff. A lot. So buckle up. It's gonna be fun here. Now, if you're in your 20s or 30s and you're already shopping around for TRT, you're not chasing health. You are chasing dependence. The industry figured out something about modern men. You're impatient, you're distracted, and you want upgrades like you're shopping for a phone. So they slap a white coat on a sales pitch and convince you that you need to be optimized. But it's not optimization, it's more sedation. The reason it's everywhere isn't because every guy is broken, it's because there's money in convincing you that you are broken. So look, if you clicked to see how a natural man keeps his numbers high, a natural man about to be 41, how I keep my numbers high, perfect. You're in the right place, dog, but we have to address this clown circus at the same time. Because guys are jumping into needle culture before they've even given their own biology a chance to work. And listen, bros, I'm not talking about legitimate low T medical cases. I'm talking about average guys being turned into lifetime subscribers. It looks less like healthcare and more like an excuse to get jacked without putting in the real work. But here's the uncomfortable truth. This business model, it's built on pathologizing normal male variants. You feel a slump, a dip, a rough week. Well, congrats, bro. Like, you're perfect. You're a potential patient to the market. And what does a patient need? Well, a plan that you can buy. It's clean, it's marketable, it's addictive. And it lowers the bar for men, which is the real damage. Because once you outsource your testicles, you are not the source anymore. Now listen, I'm not demonizing medicine. I'm defending masculinity. Because letting your balls produce natural testosterone is real masculinity. That's as real as it gets. Now listen guys, being dependent on an exogenous shot and forcing your balls to shrivel up, it doesn't foster strength. It doesn't foster discipline or masculinity. It replaces it. I mean, you are quite literally neutering yourself, guys. You're just slicing those nuts right on off. Now, yes, look, there are real clinical cases where TRT is appropriate, consistent diagnostic numbers, real symptoms, real evaluations, but it's not the conversation I'm having. I am talking about TRT abuse. Guys who suddenly think they're broken because some sponsored ad told them that they're tired of being tired. Clinics are over-prescribing because the money is insane. Everyone's happy. The companies get their cash, the doctors get their kickbacks, and guys get their therapeutic steroid cycle. But let's be real. If you're in your 20s or 30s or even 40s and you're running TRT without a legitimate medical condition, you're not on hormonal replacement. You're on steroids, dog. And look, don't let these young dudes fool you into thinking they truly have low test levels. You see it all the time. It's not hard to tank your testosterone before a lab test so you can now game the system and walk out with a prescription. I mean, everybody knows the tricks. Starve yourself, undersleep, overtrain, boom, low T. We are watching masculinity decline in real time, and it's being replaced by chemical dependence. Yo, quick pause on the video here. I want you to check out all of these natty transformations, drug-free. Listen, bro, I don't play that steroid game. I don't play that peptide game because it's stupid. So look, if you're looking for some natural muscle growth, I want you to check out my school community. There's a link in the description. Click it. Let's get you those drug-free gains the healthy way. Let's go, bro. The enhanced world sells you the idea that masculinity, it's a product and it can be bought. Steroids, peptides, TRT. But guys, that's not how this works. You don't own your masculinity. You're leasing it. Owning requires responsibility. Owning means you build a life that forces your biology to keep up. Leasing says, just sign here and pretend. And I know, the fitness drug addicts are going to come for me. They always do. We all get the same comments when we call this stuff out. You're jealous, you're just a hater, you're this, you're that. Like, they just don't get it. This isn't good for society. It's not good for the youth, for your health. You, the drug addict, are not the role model you think you are. It's a net negative, and people are in massive denial. And what's funny is that a lot of guys don't see this disconnect. They never have. It's the same grown men now who were once kids and looked up to the druggies in bodybuilding, and now the cycle repeats itself, pun intended. So the point is, guys, being dependent on bodybuilding drugs is not masculine. It's the exact opposite of masculinity because it's rooted in drug dependence. It's a fake alpha complex. The truth is, bodybuilding drug abuse and masculinity have an inverse relationship. So my question is, if you're a dude, why would you choose to weaken your masculinity? And ladies, honestly, I don't even know why you like that stuff. I mean, you're finding dudes attractive that literally have small balls and have to fake masculinity. It's weird, just saying. And no, I'm not jealous. I have absolutely no issues in the ladies department, I assure you. But look, the point is, men in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, you're being taught that discomfort equals dysfunction. That's not the case. Discomfort equals development. The first time you decide to live like a man instead of a consumer, you realize your system isn't fragile. It's waiting for orders. It responds to leadership. And leadership it's not a mood. It's a decision you have to repeat when you're not in the mood. And that's why companies market to moods. They're easier to sell to. Principles are stubborn. Moods, they pay monthly. So listen, bro, you're not broken. You're not chemically doomed. You're being chronically distracted. If you're 25 and already convinced your only shot at feeling alive is a weekly injection, then my question is, who convinced you of that garbage? Because it wasn't by strong men, I promise you that. It was by weak men pushing drug dependence. A man who goes natural chooses friction on purpose. He accepts the volatility in how he feels across days, weeks, and knows that it's normal. He understands that biological rhythms exist and that chasing flatline perfection is a fantasy pushed by people who profit from your impatience. Natural men don't worship convenience. They weaponize consistency. That consistency tells the body, hey, we do hard things here. If you are presented a solution without effort, you need to turn away from that. If the pitch is become a man, but the path is do nothing but pay, that's not a path. They're not selling you strength, they are selling you dependence. So getting on testosterone in your 20s and 30s and even your 40s, before, this is the caveat, before exhausting every other option is a step in the wrong direction. You are literally outsourcing your balls. I keep my testosterone higher naturally because I respect the long game. So these are the things that I do to maintain my natty levels. Number one, I keep my body fat levels in check. Staying leaner is one of the most effective natural ways to maintain healthy testosterone levels. Excess body fat increases the enzyme aromatase, which converts testosterone into estrogen. The higher your body fat, the higher your estrogen, and this lowers your usable testosterone. Ideally, men should stay around 10 to 15% body fat to keep testosterone optimized while still supporting metabolic functions. Now, body fat levels too high or too low can suppress testosterone levels. That's why we keep it in that range. Number two, I get between 8 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. Period. End of story. Sleep is when your testosterone peaks, and the majority of it is released during the first REM cycles of deep sleep. So research shows that sleeping only 5 hours a night for 1 week can drop test levels by 10 to 15%. It's comparable to aging a decade. Sleep is critical. No supplements will fix bad sleep. Natural testosterone production literally depends on it. Number three, I get daily sunlight. Sunlight exposure will boost vitamin D, which it's not just a vitamin, it's a steroid hormone precursor that supports testosterone synthesis in your testes. So low vitamin D is directly correlated with low testosterone levels. So aim for 15 to 30 minutes of direct sunlight on your skin daily. Now, to help balance your circadian rhythm and get better sleep, it's from the exposure from infrared and blue light wavelengths. So this helps regulate your body's internal clock and overall hormonal balance. Number four, I lift 3 to 4 times a week, but I don't overtrain. So resistance training is one of the best natural anabolic signals. It will boost testosterone and increase androgen receptor density. And it even improves insulin sensitivity. So it's really good just for overall health, obviously, as we know. But of course, if you're natty, overdoing it can backfire, and we see this a lot. Training too frequently or with excessive volume, it can raise cortisol. This can suppress test levels and it will hinder recovery. So the sweet spot for naturals is going to be anywhere from 3 to 4 intense sessions per week. And with smart programming, this does include recovery days, guys. Don't think that you don't need recovery. It's really, really important, okay? And lastly, number 5, I take vitamins and minerals to help. So certain micros are essential for testosterone synthesis and hormonal health. So we have zinc. This helps with enzymatic conversions of cholesterol to testosterone. Magnesium. This supports free testosterone by reducing sex hormone binding globulin. Vitamin D3, as mentioned. This acts like a hormone precursor. And then we have B vitamins, especially B6, B12, and folate, which support energy metabolism and hormonal production. So if your diet is lacking these, then I would consider taking them. But no supplement is going to replace proper sleep, diet, and training. So guys, the natural message is very simple. Don't rent your manhood, own it. You don't need a clown clinic to tell you that you'll be a man with injections. And look, I will continue to attack this false narrative, this propaganda that tells boys they need to medicalize their masculinity, because real masculinity will never come from a vial. It never has, and it never will.